Hey folks, welcome to Held Captive Media once again, and we're getting into the spooky season.
Spooky season.
Ooh. How long can I do it before it's too long?
Nothing spookier than a Disney original.
Ooh. Is it going on too long now? Should I keep going or?
2 hours later.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, guys, if you don't know us, we're Held Captive Media. We review films and TV shows on the internet, and today we're going to be diving into something pretty classic. So, Hocus Pocus is a 1993 spooky cult classic directed by High School Musical's Kenny Ortega. It follows a villainous cult of sexy witches who are accidentally brought back to life by a virgin boy with an aggressively 90s haircut in Salem, Massachusetts, on All Days Halloween. With a sequel on the way and a loyal, lifelong fan base, let's dig into everything that is Bette Midler and Hocus Pocus. Okay. First time I've seen this movie since like 2000 something, like 2002 maybe.
You don't watch this movie every Halloween?
No, I don't. But that's not anything against it. Yeah, that's not. Listen, producer Lacey, of course, she's a big fan. I think you're a big fan too, right?
So I didn't end up watching this one until probably high schoolish.
I don't know if I would like it as much if I didn't see it as a kid first.
I think my sister watched it all the time, but I never really watched it too much. And then it was one of those things that like,
ew, it's got girls in it. Ew, is that what it was?
No, it was just, it was one of those things.
I can't watch iCarly. Ew.
I think it was just like, no, that's a girly movie because my sister likes it.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
It was one of the same reasons.
Same reason I couldn't listen to Clay Aiken, although I think that probably worked out. My sister loved Clay Aiken. I was like, I can't listen to him.
This is the only reason I don't love the Backstreet Boys.
I love the Backstreet Boys.
I do love
But anyway, so yeah, my experience with the movie is essentially I have a faint memory of what it was like. And then I watched it, and it was exactly like I remembered it, which is wild. That's not usually how that goes. Usually you readdress a movie, and you're like, oh, wow, there's that fucked up part right there I didn't know about. This movie's pretty tame. It's definitely a kid's movie. It's a lot of fun. I don't know how else to say this, but I said it to you before, but I feel like Bette Midler is the best part of this movie, first off. She's incredible. And I feel like she also somehow has drag queen energy. Yeah. I know that I can't back that up. There's no substantial.
It doesn't have to make sense for it to make sense.
Yeah, but and it's like in the best way possible. Like, you know, there's moments where this character's over the top, breaks down to song, whatever it may be, and it just like the movie vibes because of the three witches at the helm of the film.
So I think it really comes down to drag queens have Bette Midler energy.
That could be it, yeah, definitely.
Because it's like,
but that's just it though. I feel like I don't know. There's a part of the dramatics that are being tapped.
I love Bette Midler the same way I love drag queens. Yeah.
Or like, yeah, exactly. Precisely. Yeah. Precisely.
Where it's just like you are over the top and so much fun to
I
just
fucking cannot
yeah.
wait to see this performance.
Just the wild shit you are going to do. I have no idea.
With that being said, Sarah Jessica Parker is terrible. But
I saw it the first time when I was in high school. So obviously at the time she was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, but she's like, you know, she's really attractive, and she's not like usually a bad actress. That could have just been a matter of timing and writing, and there was a lot of characters to balance in this movie because you had to display the trio.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like that's also a part of her character too.
Yeah, it's meant to be that like goofy idiot.
But the problem is that whenever she did it, I was like, Sarah Jessica Parker. You know what I mean? What are you doing? Yeah. And it's just like, it's not like because I know who she is. It's just like, it's not believable. And I feel like it's not like they're going for realism here, but I feel like
I was going to say what part of this movie
I feel like when Bette Midler does her witch bit, like her character believes it. You know what I mean? Like she's over the top, she's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let's fly! You know, all that shit. Like I totally recognize that that's not real people. But I bought her so much more. Even if it was just on charisma alone. I feel like, and then the other witch, she was there. You know what I mean?
But I think
she wasn't bad or good.
She was just she
helped the plot in ways that they wrote that were perfect for her character, her being able to smell children and stuff. Sounds weird out of context, but totally works within the movie. So I liked the trio. I thought that the kids were very aggressively 90s, and that was really great for me.
That's what I love.
Yeah, that was some of the best stuff in it. There's a scene, not even getting into spoilers, I'd send it in the group chat because it made me laugh so hard. This kid's all depressed and shit. He got his shoes stolen, dude. Like, this kid's day sucks balls. He hit on this chick and she gave him his number back. Like, it could not have been a more devastating afternoon if he was invested in the stock market. You know what I mean? Like, nothing could have made this fucking future crypto bros weekend worse.
Yeah.
And then he walks up there, he's got his dick haircut on, and he's got his flannel on, and his mom says, "How was your first day?" And he says, nearly teary-eyed, "It sucked." And then the dad's like, "Watch your language!" Like, really fucking aggressive 90s dad. And I'm like, oh no. Why are you being so, like, what?
Sucked. Not a bad.
But it's also like, this is his first day, very first day. He lived in Los Angeles. They went from Los Angeles, California to Salem, Massachusetts. All right? As in, no one gives two shits about Massachusetts. All right? And don't get me wrong. If you're from there, I love you. Subscribe. But, like, from somebody who's from Los Angeles, I'm sure it feels like a total culture shock to move to Salem out of nowhere. So, it was harsh. I felt bad for him. And then the dad shit in his mouth. And then his sister continues to cuck him for an hour and 25 minutes. Yeah. And I don't actually know if that's the exact runtime of when she's like fucking destroying him. But the general basis is this movie's really funny in ways that it was intended to be and in ways that it wasn't intended to be because of just like the passage of time, right?
Yeah.
So this movie's incredibly charming. And my review, without getting into the spoilers, it's like a strong 6.5. I really liked it. I thought it was really funny. There was nothing that I disliked about it to where I'd be like, don't watch this. It's also just like, it wasn't like, I'm not going to have that nostalgic feeling for it because I really only saw it maybe once or twice when I was a kid versus when like Halloweentown was on. I saw that a lot, or I saw, actually terrifying movies as a child instead of watching the other things that I should have been watching. Like, I never saw Bubblegum Witch. I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know what I mean? Like, my childhood was weird. So I acknowledge that. But, like, it's cute as fuck. And I think people should be excited for the sequel. Yeah. I think it had a lot of merit in it and a lot of heart. And it could be really good. Which one of you wants to go now? You want to go, Lacey?
Sure, why not?
Are you mad at me for giving you a 6.5? Because I saw a twinge in your face, but it could just be because there's a lot of lights here.
No. I love this movie. It's so much fun. Like, it's not groundbreaking cinema or anything like that, but it is so much fun. Every time I watch it, I'm just that nostalgic, like, millennial who this movie was made for, and I love it. So I give it an 8 out of 10. Because, like I said, it's not groundbreaking cinema, but it's like one of my favorite go-to Halloween movies. Like, I watch it every year, and yes, I love it.
I think the talking cat was the part that I didn't remember. And then when I saw
How could you not remember Thackeray Binks?
It's only been 20 years.
Oh, he's like the heart and soul.
Excuse me, it's been 300 years that he's been protecting
I mean 20 years since I fucking saw this movie for the first time, okay? It's been like 20 years, so give me a break. I forgot about the talking cat, all right? I thought I was conflating it with Sabrina in my memories.
Nope, there's another one.
There's so many talking black cats. Sailor Moon's shout out. I don't even know if that cat actually talks. I just remember there's a black cat.
It did.
Shout out to that talking cat as well.
No, wait. We might be thinking of Gigi from
That's
Kiki's.
Kiki.
Yeah.
It's Gigi
that cat,
from Kiki.
No, I know that cat talks. Me and Franny
Sailor Moon had like a white cat.
Was it? I thought it was a black cat also. Maybe it was a white cat.
I don't
Tell
know.
us down in the comments.
Watched Sailor Moon.
Tell us to review Sailor Moon. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
No, that's my rating. That's my non-spoiler part. I mean,
did you give a number?
Yeah, 8.
8.
Okay. 8 out of 10.
So, I think that this is so perfectly what it set out to be. I do really fucking love this movie. I think that given the more time I get removed from it, the more I love it every time I come back to it. Because that is one of those things that it's just like, it's such a comfort movie.
It is.
It definitely is. It's not like a challenging movie. It's just like a fun, low romp
And
with these charismatic ass witches.
It's one of those things where like I love going back through and like pointing out the goofy shit that doesn't make any sense. Like the fact that they were startled by a bus or didn't know what the sprinklers were, but then at the end scene when they're trying to drive away from them in the car,
this feels like a spoiler, but all right.
okay, yeah, but so like there's these like non-continuity
like when we
things
both
that-
spiked him for spoiler talk. We're like, bitch, sit down.
I mean, if you haven't seen this movie already,
who the fuck are you? Like,
If you haven't seen this movie already,
watch it.
it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It also, I think. Wait, did Disney Channel officially shut down in America? I know it shut down in other countries.
I have no idea.
Is it still going on in the U.S.? If it is, it's probably on TV very soon.
Yeah.
Within the next couple of weeks, I imagine.
But it's one of those things that it is just so much fun to revisit, and just like the goofiest of shit. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I'm gonna give it like a score that is obnoxiously too high for this movie.
I thought about that, but I think I'm gonna reserve a higher score for another beloved Disney Channel Halloween movie that we may or may not be doing in the future.
I guarantee you that my score will probably be higher for that one too.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's 8.5. It's so much fun going back to this one every time, and I think that this is like one of the pinnacles of Disney cinema. Like the Disney Channel
hear that,
original.
Avengers?
Yeah, take that.
Take that, Ford v Ferrari. I don't actually know if that's a Fox movie or not, but I was just guessing. Jojo Rabbit.
Ha!
Take that. Anyway. All right, so let's just jump into the spoilers then, and we'll talk about all ridiculous things of the movie. We'll be right back. And we're back to talk all things of bus stops with witches and whatnot. All right, so what's something that you wanted to talk about? Because you were going somewhere earlier, and we apparently very rudely shut you down.
So I love the weird little continuity errors because this movie doesn't take itself too seriously. Like there's shit where they're like, oh, I don't understand what a bus is. I don't understand a sprinkler system. And then when they're like the guy's driving away in the car to try to get away from them, she swings up and she's like, you need to show me your driver's permit. And it's like, she wouldn't know what the fuck that is, but I love it. It's such a fun scene. And then he like goes to like swing her off, and then she comes back around and she's like, resisting arrest? And it's like, again, you would not understand this, but I love it. It's
I just
so
want to
good.
clarify that I hated that scene for the exact reason that you like it.
Yeah.
Because
so
the thing is
goofy, and
I feel
love
like
it.
they're kind of consistent, actually.
I feel like that's the
Yeah.
only time in the movie where they kind of like
They break it.
aren't-
Yeah.
And they didn't have to. It felt like Power Rangers the movie, kind of. Like, all right, we're taking this random break in the middle of this movie to break the canon of the movie.
Yeah.
We didn't need to do that because the movie's plenty funny without it. But it's cool that you liked that. Clearly, I'm in the minority of not liking that because there's people out there that say that this is the best Halloween movie of all time.
Yeah.
So, what do I know, honestly?
And also, like, the way that Disney Channel just goes so hard on, they're like, the Virgin lit the candle. This kid doesn't fuck.
I do still think now I cannot get a for sure answer out of this because it did show in cinemas, but I'm not entirely sure if it was a Disney Channel original movie that also went to some cinemas or if this was a theatrical release that went to Disney. There's someone who has the answer to that, but I didn't do enough research to figure it out myself. So I just wanted to say that this is possibly a Disney Channel movie, but it has been into a movie theater.
Just a Disney movie.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a Disney Channel movie.
That's what I thought,
they
too.
Probably had it on Disney Channel.
I thought it was a Disney
yeah.
Channel
All the
original,
time.
like
No.
13th year. or
Yeah,
any of
see,
the other
that's what I'm
stuff.
saying.
That's
Yeah.
what I
I
assumed.
don't. I don't think so.
I agree with you. I think that this was because I mean it's got pretty big stars in it, and
Because I know Halloweentown was a Disney Channel original, right?
but that's different.
That's a different, yeah.
No, I know, but
It's,
I'm just
no, I
saying.
mean like you can kind of tell. Not that I'm hating on that movie. I love that movie. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
kind of, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, love is also a strong word. I shouldn't say that either.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. The point is that this movie feels like a theatrically released movie
I think it is.
that was made in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it
Because
is.
it is, yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So,
93, baby, what's up?
And that's why when you say Disney going so hard, yeah, it was Disney, but it's not like this was a decom. This was a theatrically released movie. Obviously, they're going to make some edgier jokes, you know? Like the Lilo and Stitch, like the first Lilo and Stitch movie versus the show, there's a little bit edgier humor, a little bit sharper lines. I think that that's what this kind of has as well. I feel like it's just a little bit more adult because it is like a PG movie that.
So I
went
think
to
that kind of
cinemas.
put that in new context for me because this whole time I've just been like, that's a really weird thing for the Disney Channel to just fucking
No,
go
it's
at.
just
Because like
Disney.
there's that scene where he's like, you hear that kid's a virgin, and he's like, should I get it tattooed on my forehead and all that shit? And it's like, wow, weird fucking way for them to just really go hard on this.
Yeah, it's got some goofy moments in it. I think the beginning, if you just watch the beginning and you don't give it a further chance, that somebody could easily walk away from this movie and be like, that looked like it was terrible.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the main three witches and everything to do with the actor who plays later the cat and the young boy. I feel like that dude was so bad. So bad. And the thing is like,
I loved him,
I-
especially when I was younger.
I'm sure, like, especially younger girls, they see this little handsome man from the 1700s and
and
his,
he loves his sister,
and he
and
loves
then he
his si- and
turns
he's a-
into this adorable cat.
like, there's so
Sold.
much there. But, like, to be honest with you, the cat gave me Funimation dub vibes with the voice acting.
I loved
And
it,
I love the
though.
Funimation dub, by the
Yeah.
way, so I can say that. But, like, dude, you could tell me that Christopher Sabat voiced this cat, and I'd believe you. Because some of it was so bad. But, you know, I liked the movie. I liked the parts of it that were bad and that were good. I don't really know if I have a favorite sequence other than the part where they see the guy dressed up as the devil and they go inside of his house and start dancing with him and all that. Like, I loved that whole scene.
Yeah.
And nobody on the internet seems to agree with me on that, so I just want to make my statement right now. I think that scene's dope as shit.
It feels like a weird scene. Like, it feels out of place for some of the rest of the movie.
It's like
And
the
then
one
there's, like,
adult scene where
Yeah.
it's like, there's sex jokes, people. Laugh.
Well, that's
And
what,
I'm like, I will.
that's what Disney, I feel like, does, though. They're like, this is a kid's movie, but we'll add some adult humor for all the adults seeing the movie.
And
But I feel like this movie teeters more like on the teenager adult side than
Yeah.
super little kids.
yeah. Just by the nature of it being a little scarier, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. More of like a, I wouldn't go with full blown teenagers. I would
No,
say like
like-
these are like this is like a 13-year-old's pocket.
preteens, like middle
Yeah.
school vibes.
Yeah. This is like an 11 to a 13-year-old's pocket right
Yeah.
here. This is their Camp Rock.
Or just any millennials who grew up loving this movie.
Yeah. And it's really it's a good movie. Like
Yeah.
I'm talking shit about it in some aspects, but like also I fully acknowledge that the movie was it never disappointed me. It never felt like it was dragging. It just was a kooky kind of fun experience. It was like going to like a matinee, you know? like a goofy ass play put on by really charismatic people and that has really great jokes in it.
And that's
Good enough for me.
I feel like this would be a super fun one to like do almost like just a really shitty high school performance of, because you've got like 7,
Well, for the record,
8,
in
like-
every high school, and we can say this because we were male actors in high school,
Yeah.
the female actors, the ladies, if you will, and or whoever, generally tend to be the best actors because they care the most. Whereas guys who join drama club are there to, I don't know, be noticed. I liked acting, but every other dude I knew in there was like afraid to be on stage, but still in the drama club. And I'm like, why are you here?
Well,
But good. I was glad they were there. They were
Yeah.
friendly. I'm just saying that if you put on a production with like strong female leads, you get to showcase like the most charismatic high school girls in this high school play. That could be really fucking funny, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's like, I know that I joined the drama club because I was like, oh, hey, my crush is joining. And then I got into the play. She didn't. And I was like, yeah. Because they were
Shout out to whoever you are. You just
like-
got put on blast.
They were like, we need another guy. So just like, and there's only 3 guys in drama club. I ended up doing it, not really caring about it initially. And then I started to do it. And I was like, oh, I love this. I'm going to dedicate my fucking life to it. And it's just been something that I've been in love with ever since. And I do remember a lot of other guys in the drama club, like, came in with the same energy that I came in with, but then just kept that energy throughout. And it is very much like the girls do try so much harder. And being a guy in like the drama club, it's so much. They're so desperate for guys anyway. They're like, well, we've got 3 guys, so I guess you have to be the lead. Whereas the girls are like, they've actually got to try. And you just get better actresses that way.
Speaking of girls, I love the little girl who played Danny.
Me too.
She did
Yeah.
an amazing job.
She tore him to shreds.
And like so realistic, like so
Yeah.
little sister energy.
Like,
Chef's kiss.
he lit the candle. Oh, yeah, Annie's a virgin. Like, fuck, got
The
him.
little leaguer fucking moment. That was just like, I felt my soul leave my body, you know?
Dude, when she's
It's just like, actually, he's a little leaguer. I would have been like, if I was that older brother, I would have been like, you've just killed me. You've just ended my life.
when
Just
she's
now.
when he's trying to like hit on the girl and she's like, oh yeah, he likes your yabos. And it's just like, I felt my soul die. I was like, could you imagine
But
a
because-
more petrifying place to be than the girl you're crushing on?
Dude.
And your little sister's just like, nice tits.
And I will say this about 90s haircut boy. He really gets fucked throughout this whole movie. I
Yeah.
mean, he
Yeah.
is perpetually
being just dunked on.
dumb.
But
entire time.
he does get a cuddle with his crush later on after, like
after nearly
surviving.
sacrificing his life for his shitty sister that puts him on blast every hour.
Yeah.
Bruh. Good for him, though.
Yeah.
And also, the fact that he got to cuddle her wasn't that big of a deal because I feel like it was a pity cuddle. Because she clearly does not want him in any facet, shape, or form.
Until the very last second when they're about to kiss, but then glass breaks up at the top and they like...
I mean, they had their traumatic experience. Maybe
Yeah.
they
The
bonded over
the shared
it.
trauma.
Yeah,
he can
the
like
shared trauma.
he can like
Trauma bonded?
Yeah.
he can indoctrinate her into a relationship with him.
Fuck.
If you don't stay with me, who's gonna protect you from the witches?
Which also, can we talk about like how fucking bunk it was that the entire school was like, oh yeah, we love witches. Like, how much campier can you get than that shit? That whole like first school scene was just absolutely ridiculous, and I loved it.
Speaking of school scenes, I love it when the witches don't get cremated in their oven at the school for ceramics, and they come out with speaking French because they had to listen to that horrible French bibliothèque, the library sound bit.
Oh my
track.
god!
And
Could you imagine being like stuck somewhere and just have to listen to like a
Which
French
also-
recording?
That's called school.
It is. Yeah.
I was there for
That
several
was me.
years.
Yeah, I took French in high school, so
Oh man, that's harsh.
I do love the little like oh, you see the smoke come out, and then like 5 hours later in movie, like it just felt so goofy, the editing for it, and I loved it.
Do you think that they were chafed, the parents, at the end of all that?
Yeah.
They were dancing
God.
for hours.
yeah.
Hours.
But
and
the
hours.
mom was having a great fucking. She came walking out of there, and they're like, "Oh, and we thought L.A. partied." Like, so goofy.
That was a little deterrent. If somebody walked out of a building and was all disheveled and was like, "Fuck, I thought L.A. partied," I'd be like, "Did they just get out of an orgy? What are they talking about?" So that was kind of that whole scene was so good. The "I Put a Spell on You" performance.
Oh my god!
I loved all
Iconic.
of that. Super, like, she is so charismatic in this movie. I'm so excited to see her return to the role. She is the best part of this movie.
Yeah.
without question.
I think that just so many times, like a lot of the stage chemistry, because that's you were talking down on like the other two witches.
I don't. No. I like Mary. I like Sarah Jessica Parker
I feel like
too.
they play their parts too.
I feel like,
but I think that she is the best.
Yeah, if they had cast anybody else or removed her, it would not be the same movie. No.
Yeah, but I also think that like the other witches' performances boosted her performance.
You want
it was
one
of those
like,
things where she was able to just like play off of them very well.
I think that they did a good job. It was super serviceable. Less so Sarah Jessica Parker, but we can have that conversation. But I do think that if they were to say, let's say that they made the whole movie and then those two witches, Sarah Jessica Parker and I don't know the name of the actress who played the other witch. Yeah. Let's say that they got old school canceled, 2022 style, you know, Ezra Millard, the fuck out of the movie. Yeah. They could totally still make that movie with two different witches. But if they lost Bette Midler, dude.
Yeah, no, they couldn't do the movie at all. But it wouldn't be the same.
Maybe not to you because you're really nostalgic for it. Yeah. But I think that they could still have potentially made the movie. I don't know who they could get to replace her for that part. That would be as good. I really don't. I could think of plenty of people who would be better than what we got from the other two, in my opinion. Yeah. Obviously, it's not fact, and people will have their own opinions about it. Especially when it comes to Sarah Jessica Parker, because I know people are really horny for her in this movie. In the literal and figurative sense.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. What was your favorite sequence from the movie, Lacey, since you're such a stan?
I really like the ending, even though it's sad. Poor Thackeray, but then he gets reunited. But he wanted sister.
I was like, he's probably so. Before I didn't even remember the part with the ghost scene and all that stuff. I just saw that he was dead, and I was like, I bet he's stoked.
And Danny's
because like, imagine having to be a house cat for 300 years.
I feel like I related more with like Danny because I'm such an animal lover, and his character was so loving, and she wanted to take care of him forever, and it was so sad that he was gone. But then he gets reunited with his sister. I love the ending.
She was bummed that she didn't have a talking cat.
Yeah.
Let's call a spade a spade.
But,
she wanted a talking cat.
And then I put a spell on you, like
so good.
Great.
So great, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That bus driver should probably be arrested.
Yeah.
But that was still a funny scene.
I feel like it was also the times too, like the 90s.
And like he's right. They were sexual.
It might take me a few tries, but I'm sure we could get it. This thing where you're like we're trying to get
and
kids.
Zane's brain was like Disney Channel original movie.
It's not. It's just a Disney movie.
I was like, bro, that bus driver trying to fuck in this Disney Channel original movie. What's happening?
Zane, no.
That's so fucking funny.
That's why it fucked me up.
What was your favorite scene, Zane?
Oh God.
Oh, I also like how the bullies get put in cages and they're just left there for the end credits roll.
I like the bullies not knowing the difference between Los Angeles. Like they didn't know that Los Angeles was LA. Like they didn't realize. Yeah. No, that's the jump. Yeah. They wasn't like I'm from Los Angeles, and then he goes where? And he's like Hollywood. No, he goes I'm from Los Angeles, and they're like what? And he's like basically could you abbreviate that? Like that's all they fucking wanted. That was so funny. I loved that.
I think that any scene with the bullies in it, I loved it because they were such a fucking dumb like dynamic duo that was just made me. It was just comedy.
I like when they called the witches ugly and they have that fucking turn. They're like, bitch.
Oh, my favorite scene when Bette Midler is sitting there and she's like, no, it has to be the little girl. Like when they're like, oh, we can grab one of these other kids and like we'll
petty.
live. And she'd be a petty. She's like, no, she called me ugly. She doesn't even know me. And I fucking died. I was like, she's like, it really hurt me.
What was the line where she opens up the window? How does it go?
Another beautiful day.
No, glorious. Glorious something.
Basically like, look at how beautiful this day is. Makes me sick.
Yes.
Bah, slams the window.
Me every day.
That's a good meme set. I don't know if that's already a meme, but somebody should make it one.
There's so many moments like that in this film.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of irreverent humor in the best way.
Yeah. What is your favorite scene?
That's tough.
Besides, I Put a Spell on You because I feel like that is just
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, that wouldn't be my favorite though. But I do love
Ooh.
that scene.
Yeah.
I do love it. I love the campiness of that scene. I think it's really funny. I gotta give it to when the bullies are surrounding him, and his sister decides it's her personal roast challenge.
Oh yeah.
I just think that like that scene was written really well for the characters they had in the scene, but also like everybody was delivering, which is not normal when you look at children in media. Like children in media tend to really suck. Like no offense to you, you're children, so I'm not going to judge you for that. But like most of the time, child actors are pretty terrible because they're children and they don't know how to act. And this kid was really good. I think that would probably be my favorite scene, or maybe when the zombie has this little
Billy.
turnaround and he helps out the
gonna
homies.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask.
I liked that too.
What is everybody's feelings on Billy? Because he
I like
kind of like
him.
he comes, he goes, and it's like I feel like people.
He
can
feels
either,
he feels like an at any moment plot device kind of character.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind
But
of.
I don't mind that for a kids movie.
Like if somebody was to be like, oh, you know what, the Billy character didn't really land for me, I could understand that. But I have an unreasonable love for Billy. Like I don't know what it is, because like when he takes that,
I like
knife
when
and
he-
cuts it
yeah,
open,
he mouths off.
He's like, go to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, or no, that's not when he says the go to hell line, but it's still like basically he's like, hey,
That
go
same
ahead and fuck
vibe,
right off.
yeah.
Yeah, like it's that thing where you're like, oh, this character is like he's gonna take these kids and he's gonna ruin it, but then it's just like, no, he also hates them, and it's
The
Wait.
book is also iconic. Like there's so many like
the little
just
The
yeah,
eyeball?
the little eyeball. There's so much personality to every part of
Definitely
the movie.
tons of personality
Yeah.
throughout the whole movie. Like it has that in spades.
Which also, I love the idea that they're talking about like this book is bound in human skin, and then it's like, if that's true, like they're not just gonna leave that in an abandoned house. Like that museum
was a museum.
It was but it was closed down permanently or whatever.
It would have got really oily.
It was closed
Yeah.
down for renovations. It said on the sign outside. I'm
It
just
would
saying.
have. You're joking, but I mean, if we're being serious. You're talking about the clerical idea of leaving a book in a house. Well,
It's
that
a
book would have been
magical
slimy like a
book.
lizard.
Magic.
The whole movie has magical elements.
So back on your scene,
We
where
call
you're
those plot holes in
Yeah.
the critics' circles, but
Magical.
when you were talking about how like the little sister just puts him on blast in front
All
of the
the
bullies,
time.
which also like right after that he goes like, fuck you, homie, you just put me on blast, and then she goes,
well, to be fair to her in that moment, she didn't mean to. She was earlier in the movie, and with the girl, she was trying to put him on blast.
Yeah.
But the best burns that she delivered to his
Were on
to
accident.
his like to his social clout was in the moment where she was trying to technically defend him.
yeah.
I mean, that's what she was trying to be like. You can't bully my brother. He's a little leaguer who's a virgin with a small dick. Yeah. Take
Like,
that.
huh.
And he's just like,
His
"Fuck
life's
me."
already miserable enough. You can't make it worse.
He came home crying today, and my dad yelled at him.
Yeah.
No, but like, so it makes sense that she'd be upset. I feel like that totally works as a through line because she didn't try to embarrass him that time.
Yeah.
That was more. She was actually trying to stand up for him. Actually, ironically enough,
I know, but it does just cut me up because it is like,
I think you have younger siblings, so it cuts deeper for you.
yeah, I've got just like a whole fucking cacophony of younger siblings, and it's just constantly
Company.
yeah, just a fuckload of them, and I'm just over here like, god damn, each one of but there is that proud moment when like everyone's like, if my youngest brother puts me on blast, I'm like, fuck man, that hurt. As a tear rolls down my eye, I smile a little bit because I'm like, boy's a savage. I love it.
Focus that. What are we gonna do about it?
Yeah.
All right. So, should we like get into a game? I mean, I feel like I haven't, because I don't have the history with this movie. I'm lacking like to fully explain to people like what's iconic about it. But at the same time, you've probably seen it. You understand. It's just a fucking romp. You're gonna have a good time.
It's like, it is the definition of nostalgia.
Yeah, it's total romp. It's literally drowning in and over the top 90s references,
And
but
coming of
it came out in the
age,
90s, so
the
it
kids
works.
cause all the problems, and then they solve all the problems. The adults are no help at all.
They're like Timmy
They're
Turner's
dancing
parents.
the night
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
They got Timmy Turner parents, absolutely. And the mom was like, I'm Madonna. And I was like, why is the mom suddenly hot? What's up with that? No, I'm just kidding. All right. Let's move on to the game, I guess, then, guys. We'll be right back. And we're back. And today, we kind of slid on the idea of a game, maybe forever. No, I'm just kidding. But we are, the whole point of this review coming out was that the second one was upcoming. So Lacey had the idea that we kind of talk about what we're wanting out of it, what we're expecting out of it. So,
Which, if you're watching this on the day that it drops, tomorrow Hocus Pocus 2 will drop.
bada bing, bada boom. We work quickly. You should probably watch the first one.
Yeah.
Instead of, you know what? If you want to just watch this review.
Watch this review, then watch the second one, and then when you don't understand anything that's happening.
Your information's incorrect. Hocus Pocus 2 drops September 30th, and this should drop September 27th. So there's a couple days off.
Okay, so 2 days.
You dumb bitch!
Sorry.
Fuck! Okay.
Sorry to ruin
On
that,
Disney
but
Plus, right?
It is on Disney Plus.
So it's not going to theaters.
I don't think so.
Wow. So that even further makes the first one interesting because either this is a completely not theatrical release series,
It might.
or one of them is and one of them isn't.
Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. All I know is that
Everybody
I've
in the
seen
comments just quotes you.
previews. No, please don't. I've seen previews, and I know it's supposed to drop on Disney Plus on the 30th. Whether it is going to be in theaters on the 30th as well.
What about
I
their
don't
Oscar
know.
campaign? They got to put a couple of.
Oh no!
You know what?
Humanity.
For real though, if they somehow made Bette Midler's character like a supporting actress nom, they could maybe do it. They really could maybe do it. She's fucking dope in this movie, and hopefully in the new one. Anyway, you guys should start because I have the least.
So
attachment.
I'm really interested on how they're going to do this because at the end of the first Hocus Pocus, there does seem it's pretty final. It seems like they have
bad
this
explosions?
the bad explosions seem pretty final. Okay,
epic.
Yeah, because I mean I don't know. It just felt like complete, felt whole. So, and it's been so many years since then. I'm very curious on what they're going to do. I mean, they could just be like, oh, the book was found and it brought them back or something like that. So I'm interested on how they're going to reintroduce them.
I hope they don't even address it.
Really?
Why?
You know, they're just back?
Why? Okay, if we're going for something silly and goofy,
Fair.
let's just do it.
I feel like they have to address it though.
Maybe for you,
Yeah, maybe for me.
but for me,
You're just like, I'm okay.
and for Zane, he didn't even care about the congruency within the movie, so I
Yeah.
know he won't care.
So I was actually, when I was watching it, I had forgotten that they exploded in the end. So when I was watching it this time for the review, when she turns to stone originally after touching the hollowed ground, I was like, oh, they're all going to like merge together and it's going to become a stone statue. And then in the new one, they're going to kind of like unfreeze from the stone. Like something's going to happen with the book and they're going to unfreeze from the stone. And then the statue fucking exploded. And I'm like,
turns
I don't
to dust.
know how. Maybe they don't address what happened to them after they were hanged and I assume burned. So maybe it's just another one where it isn't addressed.
And can I posit?
Magic.
Can I posit an uncomfortable question?
Yeah, sure.
Are they going to look too old to be the characters?
That was one of the things
I don't care how old they are, but
so
like
I think how they're gonna play that off is that it's been so long and they came
They're
back
losing
and
their
they're losing
magic.
their magic, just like they were at the beginning of the first movie.
so. Wait, a part of the active plot will be that they're older and uglier because they don't have their magic.
I think so.
Because
That's
they haven't ate on
crazy.
kids.
Well, 'cause
I will see the fuck out of this movie.
in the beginning of the first one, they are
They have age makeup.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw
So
that.
I think that's how they're gonna play it
Actually,
off.
I've seen the movie.
Yeah, if they just like play it off as like, oh, they don't have like they've run out of all of the life force that they stole out of the first child, so they have gotten older. Like
I
they
don't
could just
know
kind
if
of like,
that's what they're
or
going to do, but I think
just
that's one
like-
way they could play it off.
or they could just not address it.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about.
Yeah,
I want so many weird things to be happening that just are not discussed.
See, my unpopular opinion is that I would have preferred it to be animated.
Oh, no.
You can get the voice people back. You can get Bette Midler back. You also can have them do whatever they physically want because they're not 60-year-old women.
I love animated films and stuff, but I just don't think it would be the same.
I don't think it
you
would
get
play
the
as
same
well.
crowd coming back out to watch it
I'm
again.
just worried that people are going to see this and they're going to want it to be what it was in the 90s.
It might
And
be. It might be that
just,
for today.
It just can't be.
It
Do you
could.
get what I'm
It
saying?
could. I'm very optimistic. I'm really hoping it's really good.
It could be really good, but it's not going to be the same thing.
No,
it's
but it
not.
could be an addition.
I mean, I
And
guess we'll see. I
don't
just
know.
think that sometimes with these massive passages of time, mixed with the fact that this is entirely a character work film, like it's entirely based on the kookiness and the charisma
I
of
think
its
we're
leading
gonna
cast.
get more great jokes. I hope we get some more great musical bits.
I think that the movie's gonna be funny. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I
I
think,
think
it'll
it's gonna
probably
be-
be funny for sure.
I think it's going to be entirely fan service to.
Probably.
But that's what I'm worried about.
That's what I
Yeah.
want.
But what
we
if
go.
it's just all fucking references to the
dichotomy
old
of
movie?
man.
Nothing great, nothing new.
I'd still be happy.
They have fucking magic. They could be able to do cool shit. They have the ultimate plot hole, as we talked about, or magical, whatever mysticism,
It's
whatever
just
you described
magic.
it.
It's just
They have magic. They can do
Yeah.
whatever they want with that.
Who knows?
So,
Does it make sense? It's magic.
and they could use that. And I'm
Yeah.
worried that they're gonna play it really safe, play it really close to the chest, and be like, "We're gonna do this joke again."
But that's
and
kinda
we're gonna
what I'm
then
ex-
do this joke again.
That's
Is that
kind of
what
what
you're
I'm
expecting?
expecting out of, because this movie is being made entirely because of nostalgia. Like that's the only reason. Like they wouldn't circle back to it after almost 30 years because they thought like, oh, this is an excellent piece of cinema.
They've had a sequel
we
in
have to
development for a
continue.
long time, though, haven't they? I actually think
I have
that
no
they've
idea.
talked about this for a long time. Not that that's relevant. I'm just saying.
Like it's not like, I don't feel like it's like with The Incredibles 2, where it was like it was originally planned to have a sequel and then it set in development hell and then finally they got back around to it.
Honestly,
I think
I
this is
didn't
one of those
mind
things that like
The passage of time between those two, it gave me. It wasn't like they were just trying to force
Well,
a movie out for money.
I
you
think
know?
that works with animation, though. But at the same time, if you watch that movie and then you watch the first one, like Craig T. Nelson's voice work is clearly aged worse. Like he's a worse voice actor over time. So Mr. Incredible wasn't as punchy for me in the second movie, and it's
I didn't
funny
even notice
and it's
that.
poignant.
I liked it. I liked both.
No,
of them.
I liked the
I don't
movie.
know.
I liked it. I love Bob. Dude, the casting of Bob Odenkirk was genius. I'm just saying that there's always going to be
that
an
kind
egg-
of degradation
yeah,
over time.
there has
Yeah.
to be. That's just the nature of life, right?
Yeah.
Things. So when people are so excited about this movie, and I know they are, I've read plenty from fans in preparation for this review. There are tons of people that are very excited about it, but I feel like everybody's expectations are like right here, and they should be like right here.
I'm hopefully
See, and
optimistic.
that's where my expectations are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going into it like I've given the first one an 8.5. I'm expecting the next one to be a 5, and it's going to be a 5 that I fucking love because I'm nostalgic for it, and I think
But
that they're
we
going to be
don't
very
know that
fan
yet.
service.
yeah, we don't like the
Yeah,
way.
I don't know yet.
I
It
always
hasn't
think
dropped for us yet,
expect
yeah.
the worst, hope for the best. So I'm sitting with this at like, I'm thinking when I go to see it, it's probably going to be a retread, a nostalgia trip. Hey, look at this thing. You remember that? Hey, listen to this person. You remember her. Hey, remember that? You remember this? I feel like it's going to be a lot of that, but I've been wrong in the
I
past.
feel like they're
I've
just
been
going
wrong
to
in the
bring back
past.
the witches, and I don't think they'll bring back anybody else.
That was going to be my
They
question.
they can't, right?
Plot-wise,
I don't think so. I think it'll be new
plot-wise, what do you
people.
think's going to be happening?
I think it'll be the witches are back. There's probably going to be some new kids. There'll be new humor
It'll
for today.
absolutely be based in memes, technology. Like it'll
Yeah.
totally play with cell phones.
It'll still be
the
in
internet.
Salem, probably. I would think. They'd still be in the same area.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, they have to.
My guess.
They put her in Las Vegas.
You never know.
That'd be
you
fucking,
never know.
dude. A Vegas movie with the Hocus Pocus witches.
No.
Everybody thinks they're like insanely dressed prostitutes. I'd watch
Should
that movie.
is that what they should have done?
No.
No.
But for me, if they were making the movie just for me, then yeah. But if they're making it for people who love the movie, probably not.
Yeah.
So my guess, as far as plot goes, I think we're going to be following Danny, the little sister. I think it's going to be like her 2 daughters that are running around, and it's going to be them interacting with the 3 witches and trying to get away, and they're wanting like revenge for their mother, who like the witches hate their mother.
I think it just might be new
I think it's
people.
going to be edgy teens who don't believe in the local folklore.
Yeah, I could see
Just like
that.
a full
And then they're making a live stream.
Make your life.
They're summoning the witches on live
they're
stream.
doing an internet.
They're on Twitch.
Oh my god.
They're on Twitch. They're swatting the witches. I'm just kidding. But I'm also being a little serious. Like, I would not be surprised. You know, there was a Facebook Live scene in the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I mean, there's only so much that we can do to try to ignore the landscape we live
Maybe
in.
the witches get TikTok famous.
Oh, that'd be hot. That'd be
Oh,
for being
fuck.
hot TikTok witches.
Yeah.
They could learn about witch talk. Yeah. So that's a hope.
I'm hoping for it to be goofy and fun and a little bit nostalgia, but with some new flair. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, it needs for me to enjoy it, like, because I
And
enjoy
Bette
the first
Midler.
one because
I mean, she is probably
Yes.
going to be just as over the top as ever.
I hope that she's even more so.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Just like
I want her to
the
go
most
in.
ridiculous. Yeah.
I want to be like, let's fly, bitches. Let's fucking go. Like, I want like such ridiculous shit from her because she's so iconic. And who knows? I mean, they're all getting up in age. Not really Sarah Jessica Parker so much, but like Bette Midler is a little bit. I mean, they all are.
Yeah.
And like, who knows? This is likely the last romp with this trio. But you don't know. It could be one of the last iconic roles that any of these people play. And like, so I want to go in. I want to enjoy it. I wanted to recapture some of that magic, but I need something that's going to be new. I need it to have something that adds any value to it where it's like, okay, this is an original film.
I think that's absolutely fair.
And I just don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I
I'm
want it to.
hoping.
I want it to
Hoping.
really badly.
I think I'll like the movie regardless, but I'm hoping.
Who's in the cast? I'm curious.
I don't know.
Because that could
I
affect
literally
things.
don't know.
I'm
All
gonna
I know
look
is
right
that they
now.
have the
Okay.
3 original witches, and I have no idea. I haven't seen a trailer or anything. I just
I've
know
been
it's
avoiding
coming.
it too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Tell us down in the comments what you think that the movie's going to be like.
Let's take a
And what
look.
do you think the plot's going to be? They might have already released what the plot's going to be. I don't know. I don't read up on movies.
I like the cinematographer, by the way.
Do you?
Elliot Davis. I like him.
That makes me a
He's
little
done
excited.
TV stuff. That's fun. Yeah, a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah. So see, I feel like that could be like
Just going ahead.
yeah,
Just
revamping,
Yeah.
but just bringing back.
Hold on, I might be able to
Ooh.
disprove one of her theories right now.
Oh man.
One of her theories? Well,
Mhm. No, never mind.
Okay. Okay.
it's gone.
I won't say how I was going to until after you see the second one, so I don't spoil it.
Okay.
The
Wait.
cast has a weird thing right on the byline,
Oh no.
Okay, weird.
but it might
No.
not be bad. I don't think it's actually going to be
What
bad.
is it? I gotta know.
I think that
now.
there's a cameo,
Okay.
and the cameo. I don't want to get into it.
It's fine.
Just watch the movie.
I will. I'm definitely gonna watch the
And
movie
you watch
September
the movie.
30th.
September 30th.
I wish we were, I wish this was like promoted by Disney.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
definitely not.
Well, it is kind of now. Just
Yes.
we're more like we're promoting Disney,
Yeah.
which is
Like-
probably not for the best. But thanks for that Fantastic Four video, babe. What's up, Disney? Shout out. What's going on? This could do well too.
I'm saying if you work for Disney and you want to promote us,
Honestly, if you even just work for like anyone and you want to promote us,
We're not
anyone at all,
desperate.
Yeah.
you know, like I've had sponsors before. All of you guys were cool. Come back.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, What did you think of Hocus Pocus? And do you have a rich history with it? Write down in the comments the memories that you have watching this film with your family or friends over the years. Maybe you were there for when it premiered on TV for the first time, or maybe it didn't premiere on TV. We're not even fucking sure.
Who knows?
It's just a vague memory we all have from early childhood.
Guys, this is not a stress dream. Hocus Pocus happened. And what did you think of it?
And Hocus Pocus 2 is going to happen.
And there is a sequel coming out, and let us know what you guys are anticipations for that, all that stuff, and make sure to subscribe. We got spooky content coming out throughout the entire month of October. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and we also do some
Doing a whole October spooktacular.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
and we do some entertainment discussions about things going on in Hollywood, whatever it may be. You can check out those videos on our channel as well. And Zane streams, I guess. I don't know. He says
Maybe
he
eventually.
does. I don't believe him. And I have a personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/Logan Tyler, where you can listen to my political podcast with paraplegic and political activist Jessica Van Hook. Shout out. Thank you guys so much. Peace out.
Okay, bye-bye.